What's good, everybody? Lucky Lefty Podcast, Anora Boys. We are in the building, and we are brought to you by Anora Whiskey. It is AnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, AnoraWhiskey.com. Super Bowl Sunday, we know everybody's going to be enjoying themselves, no matter where you are. If you choose to drink tomorrow, make sure you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it lit. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Just a year ago, this song rang out at the Super Bowl. Brought to you by Nora Whiskey at NoraWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey, NoraWhiskey.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the share button. Share. Let everybody know about Lucky Lefty Podcast. That thumbs up, it's the like button, and it helps with the views. We greatly appreciate it. Leave your comments, questions. We indeed respond to all, and go ahead and subscribe. Courtesy of Bleav Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, each and every day. We are presented by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Super Bowl 60 FanDuel has everything you need. Whether you want to bet on the game or you want to bet on particular prop bets, you can go over to FanDuel.com or simply download the FanDuel app. You can check us out on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Lucky Lefty Pod. We are the home of the misguided passion and forever committed to making sure that we spin it.
Different.
Left, how you feeling, bro?
Man, it's cool to see all the football awards coming out. Super Bowl's tomorrow. NBA's heating up. It's good stuff going on.
NBA's heating up. My line I take on Michigan State tonight, prime time, to see if they can extend to 13 games in a row. Hottest team outside of Arizona, hottest team in college football, basketball. So, and the struggles continue in the Notre Dame basketball programs. But hopefully they can survive. We know Niele Ivey. I look forward to seeing her in Chicago. Jaden Ivey had a really good game against Toronto for the Bulls to start off. Him and Anthony Simon. So you excited about this Super Bowl? I'm not, Left. I'm excited about what my mother has prepared tomorrow for dinner, but not so much the game.
Yeah, it's really hard to find the interest just because these teams are just two vanilla teams that their paths weren't interesting during the season necessarily. So for them to end up in the Super Bowl, you're like, how did they sneak up on us? But the two teams do have history that were at one point one of the greatest stories in Super Bowl history. So it's just to see those two teams again in this way. It's a little weird, but it's also weird how Tom Brady's just not so gung-ho and cheering for the Raiders. The Patriots, and his other team isn't even in it.
I get it. I get it. No, I get it.
You get it?
Yes, I do. I do, absolutely.
How do you get that?
Because he's an egomaniac. Absolutely.
Okay. You making it.
There's no way he's rooting for Drake May.
No way?
No. Because they start talking about another young quarterback besides talking about Tom Brady. No.
But Tom Brady can't do anything to change it. Like he can't.
You know what he can do? Not absolutely. He's that petty. Are you asking me if he's that petty? I know he's that petty.
Really? Wow.
That's what made him great as a competitor. Absolutely.
He's not competing though. Yes,
he is. In his mind, he's competing. Yes, he's absolutely competing with Drake May in the hearts of Patriots fans. He absolutely is. He absolutely is.
So if he wins,
like, I don't understand. I do.
If they win, is he going to make a post about it, or you think he's just not going to say anything? He's just going to be neutral.
No,
he has to go to the parade and all that. I mean, he's He's essentially a part of the organization.
He's not going to the parade, bro.
Are you serious?
No.
Wow. SD, he can't be that bad. Michael Jordan would go if the Bulls won.
Michael Jordan hasn't been back to Chicago in forever, bro. What are you talking
about? What, been back in what way?
He hasn't been to the stadium in like 20 years.
Oh, wait, no, he was there.
Seriously.
No, he was there during the NBA 75, and he's been involved in all that stuff.
No, 75 was in Cleveland.
You're saying he hasn't. You're saying he hasn't walked back into the United Center
at all.
Not even for retirement jerseys and teams. And no, he's been back for like they celebrate the teams and stuff.
No. No.
What do you?
No, thank you, MJ. No, he has not. I'm telling you, that's how petty the great players are. They're just that petty, bro.
Wow.
And Tom Brady,
he just won't even. Why? But why? Why would he go back?
He's being petty, bro.
He's funny. Being petty. That's so funny. But Tom has been back to New England bunches of times. He done been celebrated. He done did all the thing they got to do pregame. I mean, so I find it hard that he wouldn't come back, you know.
Yeah. But no, I don't agree. We have some things to celebrate before we're going to talk about the release of the 2026 roster. We're going to talk about Aaron Henry officially becoming the defensive back coach and passing game coordinator for the Fighting Irish. It just became official about 30 minutes ago. So we're going to talk about that. If you missed the interview and the background and intel on who Aaron Henry is with Big Ten Network's Howard Griffith, you need to go check it out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. He gave us a background on Aaron Henry and what we expect to be or soon to be linebacker coach for the Fighting Irish, Brian Jean Mary. So you can find both of those intel and background conversations about Aaron Henry, who is officially the defensive back coach and the pass game coordinator, and also future linebacker coach, Brian Jean Mary, over at Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Check us out. Not only are we going to talk about that, the roster release, weight gains, height increases, which is still amazing that you get these young athletes that are behemoths and they're still growing. I mean, yeah, that's 17, 16, 17, 18, still growing. And just talk about who we expect to possibly make a jump based upon, what we see. And then some number changes, Christian Gray being one of those number changes. We'll see the numbers and talk about the numbers of the incoming freshmen. And then we're going to talk about the town hall meeting for Chris Del Conte, who is the Texas AD. He has some very interesting comments about competition, how he sees things in the SEC. And we're going to talk about that, how it may impact Notre Dame being on Texas' schedule moving forward. You have a GTB question, super chat, get it in. We do want to talk about it. And first of all, Lev, we want to say congratulations to Greer Martini.
Yep.
Former Notre Dame linebacker who is now the defensive coordinator at Western Michigan. That's what's up. Huge congratulations to him and everything that he's doing. Shout out to Tommy Zibikowski, who is up here in Chicago at St. Patrick, doing an incredible job recruiting, coaching and restoring that program. And Notre Dame just offered, they actually went to see Coach Zibikowski to talk about his players. And they actually offered a 2027 defensive lineman that he coaches, David Fuller from St. Patrick here in Chicago. So shout out to how he had to rebuild that program very quietly. They've become very competitive in the CCL in Chicago. And so shout out to the job that he's doing. And that's huge, to restore a program in the city of Chicago. You're from Chicago, and to have Notre Dame come and show interest in one of your players, I'm sure that has to be very, very rewarding for the rebuilding job that Coach Zibikowski has done in a short time at St. Patrick. And then we want to congratulate our big bro, Oscar McBride, who was announced as the new head coach at Bishop Montgomery out in California. And Principal Dr. Michelle Starkey had to say this in the release. Our search committee was deeply impressed not only by Coach McBride's experience and football knowledge, but by his heart for mentorship and his desire to invest in the lives of our young men. From a talented pool of over 70 candidates, Coach McBride emerged as the leader who best embodies our values and the future we envision for night football. So shout out to our big bro,
absolutely,
Oscar McBride. That's what's up. It's good to see former Notre Dame players really moving up the ranks, whether it's high school football or college football.
Quick.
Yeah, it is happening quick. You always say the ND Stimmy, love. That ND
Stimmy be strong. I'm telling you, man. That's like a giant boost on your resume, man. Getting into Notre Dame somehow. So
yeah,
it's good to see the influence spreading. It's the reason why we're influential in college football. We got a spy everywhere. We like the CIA. Just when you think you're making moves and shaming Notre Dame, we gave you the organization.
Yeah, facts. So our first topic is Notre Dame has gotten a lot of love in the offseason, despite everything that has been a barrier. Missing the playoff, opting out of the bowl game, the USC rivalry ending. With all of that, Notre Dame has still received a lot of love. And so I just want to play this clip, and it's going to lead to our first topic left.
Okay.
I'll play this clip, and then we'll get to it.
Go.
Excuse me, I hit the wrong clip. That's my bag left. Here we go.
With before last season.
Yeah. Yes, I
did. Do they just call you?
I mean,
because Ashton Genty was here last year, and I said, "Hey, how do they do it?" Right? Because he was Boise State, so everybody's calling him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, they just call you now." Do they just call you, Jeremiah?
Hey, keep it very simple. Very simple. It's not complicated.
You think it's like a spy movie, right? And it's everybody does it.
It's very simple. Or they try to reach you through somebody else.
Right. Coaches or whatever.
Yeah, coaches, parents, people close to you.
You just say thanks, but no thanks. I'm Irish.
Thanks, but no thanks. I don't even actually. I mean, I pay attention to.
Yeah, you're just.
I was Irish.
Yeah.
I mean, hit me up. I ain't fine. I'm locked in with Notre Dame. I was locked in with Coach Free, and I wasn't paying attention to it for real.
I love it.
So, my first topic left. How do you feel about tampering? And would you have a problem if it came out that Notre Dame tampered to get someone in the transfer portal?
Well, I think, it's just a credit to have people worth being tampered with or getting into the game of tampering, having ND Stimmies come with a cost. ND has an agenda just like every other team has a certain agenda where they want to go about things. And in the game of limited resources, and there's opportunity to get on those resources, that's just what the game is. So if you're playing a super clean game in college football, you probably aren't a good football team. And the nature of the football game isn't clean anyway. That's just like saying, How you gonna have a D line that's aggressive, but they're all scholarship athletes?
Yeah. It's a difficult situation.
So I do think it's important that if they're doing it, it's not the worst. You know what I'm saying? It's not the level of Michigan or something, but they're not clean either. But that's 99% of college football programs. I think it's a credit to even have people worth being tampered with. In Jeremiah Love's case, of course. What do you mean? I mean, the man won the Doak Walker and was in the Heisman race. That type of talent, somebody's calling his phone. You would expect. Freeman would be doing it wrong by getting upset. How you gonna get upset? The man obviously showed loyalty to Notre Dame, saying, I didn't even answer, whatever. That don't mean they didn't call. But I'm just glad it works both ways because we saw Freeman entertaining, being entertained, getting called in the public by other teams anyway. So what would Freeman be like chastising any player when all you see is all the news of him getting entertained by other teams? So that's just the nature of the game. Freeman can only be like, well, this is only happening because he's good, I'm good. That's what happens when you're good. You're going to get them calls. I'm just happy that the loyalty and retention can stay long enough for us to all do well because that's what Notre Dame is. You don't go to Notre Dame to rest and retire. No, Notre Dame is a place where you go to get to another step.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised if Leonard Moore got some briefcases and bags and calls sent his way. He should. He's a number one corner. So if we got the number one corner, we know that people calling him, it's the ones that be ignorant to the game purposefully. That's where you go wrong, where you want to do things like Clemson that's fighting so hard against it. But Clemson, y'all know y'all be doing it, Y'all know y'all got some dirty recruiting games out here. Why you so upset when it's happening to you? That just shows that you're not cut for where the game is evolving. Because Marcus Freeman could easily be, blah, blah, blah. They doing this, they doing that to us. But he already got to deal with that on an everyday because you at Notre Dame. He got to deal with the conferences trying to fake freeze you out. And while we making deals, while he recruiting, he can't think about, they call him Jeremiah Love phone. That's the last thing he got to think about. But when you have a good program, you know how to know that loyalty will be there. You know that your development for Jeremiah Love, what the situation is, how he's operating. He's in a good space where if he leaves, it's not because of you, Marcus Freeman. It can't be. You done gave the man everything and some. I think where coaches get mad is where they know they can't feel the players' expectations, like a Zachariah Branch. Lincoln Riley probably is mad about that, but he can't be too mad because he knows that he'll go further at Georgia. That's why Lincoln Riley would get mad and say, they tampering, they calling my players, they da-da-da. Because even Dabo knows, they take my linebacker, he go to LSU, he might be something greater. Lane Kiffin might put him in something bigger than what I can provide that I recruited him to do. He might show me up as a coach. If he can steal me because I didn't give him some money or whatever, he might be better at LSU than at Clemson, and I can't let that happen. Marcus Freeman's like, shoot, guys want to stay here because where you going to go if you leave? You're only going somewhere else to help another program. That's how Notre Dame got it. If you leave Notre Dame, you're going to help somebody else be better. We got time and time of examples. Pat Coogan is our number one example where you can never say, even though they won, Indiana wasn't where Notre Dame was when Pat left. Pat left a better program and made Indiana better. And they ended up winning. That's a Notre Dame stimmy if you can't see. Whereas a player from Clemson left, went to another program, and did something like that. That just shows you where Notre Dame, like why Marcus Freeman don't go up there complaining. Why? He's like, man, I've been sending Troy head coaches. I done sent Vanderbilt their little thing going on. I done sent, you know what I mean? I can't be mad because it's coming back to me. I got sent out. But sent out of the house. He was 18. They kicked him out of the house. They said, you got to go and get experience in the real world. But Marcus Freeman knew he going to come back. He going to come back. He going to want to come back. Because what's here, if you do it right, is nowhere better. And what Denbrock do came right on back. He had something good at LSU. He could have stayed. Just like Texas Tech guy. He stayed. That's fine. But he was enticed. He thought about it. Because he knows, he said, if I go to ND and blow up, it's over with. I'm out of here. But that's a high spotlight to mess up in too. Some people want to take it. Some people don't. The ones that take it, most times, deserving or not, get a better chance. Look at Tommy Rees. Tommy Rees, offensive coordinator, did a pretty good job, whatever, and is only failing forward. He can't stop getting good jobs. I mean, my God, they treat him like Phillip Rivers. He want to retire. They like, come on, just head coach a team for you. I mean, my goodness. Indy Stimmy, Mike Mickens, if they did a story on Mike Mickens, they talked to him. They said, Mike Mickens, did you get calls? Did you get calls while you was producing Benjamin Morrison? Did you get calls when you was producing Xavier Watts and the Gurskies? Did you get calls when you had the most interceptions in the country? I know you was getting calls. If he was to get on the phone, but you know why he's not getting them calls? Because he's in the league. But if he went to another college team, they would have asked him. You don't even got to ask him. We know Mike Mickens was getting called. We were surprised that he stayed as long as he did. So he was getting calls. It's just a different respect when it comes from coaches to players. When it's players, it's tampering, it's bad. Oh, this sucks. They trying to ruin sports, da-da-da. But Mike Mickens getting calls, it's an honorable thing. It's you getting called from who? Oh, that's special. You entertaining it? You leaving it? What you gonna do? Disregard the fact that he's on a whole program with kids that's trusting him to develop and take them to the next. He probably could have got, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the same thing for Marcus Freeman. The weight of people's careers is on Marcus Freeman's shoulders, and they got to watch the news of him getting entertained by literally every coaching job that's open. I mean, what? That's stressful. That's stressful. But that's an honorable thing when it's Coach Freeman. But if that was Jeremiah Love, we'll be up in arms. Oh, my God. Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia gave Jeremiah Love all these offers, and he's taking a visit down there. But he had to go on social media and say, I'm loyal to Notre Dame. That's just a stressful thing. So I don't blame a kid that's good that's getting this attention. Now, if you're not good, what does it matter then? You know what I mean? What's the news? If you're not good, I hope it works out. Shit. if you ain't up for no awards or getting high drafted, I hope it works out, man. You probably need that's what we call a fresh start. But if you're good, it shouldn't be a bad thing. Hell, it better be trying to bargain. It happens in the league. Because when it happens in the league, when you don't want it to happen, like an AD, he probably didn't really want to go to Washington, but he didn't have no control over it. Then now nobody feel no sympathy. Now it ain't no sympathy for nobody. Now it's like, well, you did it. But he probably like, dang, I went from LA to Dallas, now to Washington. At least send me to Chicago. Send me back home. Y'all send Kobe White home. Y'all send Kobe White to a good team. How that work? Y'all sent Kobe White not only home, but to a good team. Can you at least do that? Good grief.
Yeah, the whole tampering thing to me right now legal. No one's breaking any type of laws or bylaws as far as the NCAA. But it's not good for the game overall. I never thought that the tampering during the season was good, because tampering goes on during the season. Agents are reaching out to coaches and all that stuff happens all the time. We know that. We talked about it, the Darian Mensah situation with Ken Gibbs on Wednesday, and he was spot on. Mensah and his crew in Miami, no one broke the rules. But what was unethical was Mensah waiting until the last minute and really putting Duke behind the 8 ball and not allowing them to go get a quarterback.
But how is that not? No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
No. Wait. Let me finish. Because we talked about relationships. We cannot sit here. And go at the ACC and Jim Phillips the way they handle the relationship between him, the ACC, and Notre Dame, and then sit here and say, kid, if you knew it was a possibility, the least you can do is let us know. We can't sit up here and keep you from going anywhere because of the way the game is rigged. There's nothing Duke could do. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Even if you were waiting for Miami, jump in the portal. Jump in the portal. Don't wait until they miss on Sam Levitt. And then when they miss on Sam Levitt, then you want to jump in the portal. And now we're left just hanging.
That
No,
you can't
jump
say
in the
you left.
portal.
You can't say you left hanging because they recruit every year. They
Dude,
recruit
stop
every
playing.
year.
Stop playing. Stop.
Notre Dame
Stop.
just
Is
they're
this
overloading
ingenuous?
from the quarter.
Is disingenuous from a relationship standpoint? If you knew you weren't happy and you want to go elsewhere, go to the portal. Go. Now we know you're in the portal. There's nothing legally we can do about that. We have your NIL rights. It has to be dealt with regardless. But go to the portal. Jump in. Because when you jump in, now we're looking for a starting quarterback. Now
But they're looking for a starting quarterback every year in recruiting.
No, they're not. That's a lie. If you have Darian Mensah
Who's
coming
not?
back, why would Duke be looking for a starting quarterback when they have Mensah? Why would they be looking for a starting quarterback?
The same reason that every team is looking to recruit the best quarterback coming out.
So
Notre Dame
should have been looking for a starting quarterback this year.
Notre Dame had CJ and Kenny on the bench and still brought in Riley. What is that?
They weren't starting quarterbacks. What are you talking about?
CJ's supposed to win the Heisman this year. You telling me he couldn't do that
starting quarterbacks? You do. That was a horrible example.
How? CJ,
because they have never played.
Could CJ have done what he did last year, the year Riley did it? Was CJ a starting quarterback the year Riley came in?
CJ was not leading Notre Dame to a national championship game. He wasn't. Stop. Not with that offense.
How not? How not?
All right. We're about, because you're about left. Stop. Because now you're not even being objective.
How do you go from not being able to wait? Time out. How do you go from not being able to do it? How do you go from not being able to do it to 1 year of now you're the Heisman favorite? It's impossible. You had to have been able to do it coming in. Trevor Lawrence coming in is the same person he was when they started it early.
Wait. So CJ was walking into the same room offensively in the same wide receivers that Trevor Lawrence had. We really gonna do this?
He had a team. We had a team Riley's year. That was why I was never about the quarterback.
The wide receivers that Trevor Lawrence had as a true freshman are equal to the wide receivers that CJ
No.
had.
The team
The team is not. If the wide receivers aren't the same, how can the team be the same?
We had a top 5 defense, just like Clemson did. We had a top 5 defense.
Bro, I know.
And we had Jeremiah Love
through and through.
Come on, man. We had Jeremiah Love.
Love. Don't do this, man. Not on the weekend. You should at least you don't take a break. You don't take a break at all. Bro,
I don't. But if CJ wasn't as highly regarded as he is right now, then I wouldn't be able to say that. What if he would have played the year Riley was here? Why not? How is he that different?
CJ,
if he didn't even play, how could you not play and then be the Heisman favorite a year later? He would have been in the same position because we had a great team.
We're conflating my point, and you're moving the goalposts. That's an entirely different conversation. But I'll give it to you like this. Before Marcus Freeman went to Sam Hartman and Riley Leonard, what did he do?
Told the guys on the roster they weren't
ready. Why? Because of relationship. Dictated that he sits the guys on his roster, Drew Pine and Tyler Buckner, down out of relationship and tell them the truth about what he wants to do. That's all Darian Mensah had to do with the coaching staff at Duke. Come to them and tell them the truth about what he wants to do. That's it, out of relationship. You brought me here. We just won an ACC championship out of relationship, Coach Diaz. I'm just going to tell you, I might be interested in jumping in the portal. I just want you to know. I don't know if I'm going to do it today. I don't know if I'm going to do it tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do it a week down the line. But it's something I'm thinking about. Out of relationship, just to give Duke an opportunity to say, okay, maybe we should start bringing in some quarterbacks on visits. Just like Marcus Freeman gave Drew Pine and Tyler Buckner the opportunity to say, we're going to stay and compete, or we'll go find somewhere else to go play college football.
So you're telling me that Duke...
It's called integrity.
So Duke wasn't recruiting any quarterbacks.
You keep saying recruiting. It has nothing to... There is no recruit that is equal to Darian Mensah. There is none.
It is.
No, it's who that's coming to Duke? Who?
That's coming. Well, they wasn't. Well, that's what I'm saying. Are you saying they wasn't even looking?
Did they recruit Mensah, or did they get him through the portal? Exactly.
I don't know, but either way.
What do you mean?
How is that any different than how Miami's treating their quarterback situation?
What does that have to do with anything?
They got to do anything. Because Cam Ward, for instance, didn't tell Washington the last minute. He just left. Washington didn't have a quarterback after that either.
Okay.
Duke is not going to have a quarterback after Mensah anyway.
Your point is you just want the players to be able to do whatever they want to do. That's bull crap.
If the coaches can. No.
It's bull crap for both.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I would agree it's bull crap for both, but don't say it's only one way.
I didn't say it was one way. I asked for integrity, period.
Oh, well.
Integrity. The same thing Marcus Freeman did. The same thing we begged the ACC to show Notre Dame in relationship. We can't just all of a sudden, because it's the players, say, oh, it doesn't matter. No, because I require it, whether it's conferences, ADs, and presidents. I require it, whether it's coaches, head coaches, assistant coaches, analysts. I require it for players and agents.
Okay.
It's all the same.
Give you an example. If CJ did the same thing, would Notre Dame be in a panic situation like Duke? Or would Notre Dame just be like, that was bad business, but ship is not over?
In this current, you talking about the way the quarterback room is currently constructed?
Currently, right. Yeah. Yes.
Marcus Freeman would be livid. Because there is no quarterback equal to CJ Carr right now in that quarterback room. Not one of them. Not one that's ready to go out there and do what CJ Carr can do on the football field. Not right now. No, I don't have faith that any of them are ready to be second year CJ Carr in the Notre Dame offense. No, I do not. I don't have that confidence. No.
With the schedule we have and the team we have.
It doesn't matter. You just asked me a question of whether or not the guys in the room can do what CJ Carr can do this year. No, I do not believe that. Regardless of the schedule, no. No one is going to walk in and be a Heisman favorite. Not one other quarterback in their room is ready to be a Heisman favorite.
I agree.
No.
I agree with that.
So Marcus Freeman would be livid if CJ Carr handled it like that and Notre Dame didn't get a chance to go to the portal. Marcus Freeman would be livid.
But that goes to the point of who are you going to get even if that were to happen? Who would you get anyway? Even if you knew beforehand, who is at CJ's level that's even a replaceable recruit?
You get no argument from me, which is why we said having him ranked sixth in returning quarterbacks is laughable. We said that.
Right, but but in terms of the nature of the game, how is it unethical in that sense?
I didn't say anything was unethical. I said you can move with integrity, which I guess I am saying is unethical. It's nuanced. It's not.
It's a nuanced thing. Yeah.
No, because saying somebody is unethical could kind of say the dude's a dirtbag. I'm not saying he's a dirtbag.
Oh,
That's not what I'm saying. That's why I say you have to be careful the way you use words. There was a more integral way to move. And I agree with Ken Gibbs. There's a more integral way to move. If CJ Carr, hypothetically, wanted to leave Notre Dame, I would venture because of relationship, CJ Carr would go into Marcus Freeman's office and let him know what he's thinking.
Because you think his character's right.
Because of relationship.
Right.
If you have a relationship, that's the way. That's just, come on, bro. If you want to break up with somebody, the right thing to do is to let that person know, you know what, I no longer want to be in this relationship. That's just the right thing to do. You can debate whether or not
it is the right thing to do. That's the right thing.
Face-to-face, phone call, text. Now that's an entirely different conversation. Should it be via text, phone call? That's nuances of it. At the end of the day, if you want a relationship to end, let that person or let that individual or that organization know. Just let them know. Now everybody's on an even playing field. Regardless of how they're going to feel, regardless of how they react. Now everyone is on an even playing field. Darian Mensah being up front with Duke would have put Duke on an even playing field in the situation instead of being behind. It's as simple as that. I have no issues. I can't have an issue with tampering if it's the rules. That's like me being upset the way basketball is played right now because the Chicago Bulls don't have any outside shooting. And me saying,
you got 10 guards.
I mean, now, but I'm saying, the last 5 years, they've been one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league. So that's like me being upset that now the league is based upon shooting and movement. Because I don't have the requisite talent to take advantage of the way things are going.
I mean, but that's what old heads make the argument of a more physical game back then. Maybe they couldn't have played in today's fast-paced game.
Yeah. I think as far as winning, I don't think anybody sits here and says, as far as winning, being put in a bigger spotlight, trying to get yourself elevated for draft stock, of course Mensah made the right decision. Who is really going to argue that?
But that's why people are saying is what it has this controversy because they know it's a better position. If it was a lateral position, it would be a big deal.
No, I can rock with that. I can rock with that. Lucky Lefty podcast. Nora boys in the building. Like, share, hit that thumbs up. Helps with the views. Bleav Network, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Presented by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Go over there. All your prop bets, money line, everything you need for Super Bowl 60 is right there at FanDuel, FanDuel.com, and download the FanDuel app. X, TikTok, Instagram at Lucky Lefty Pod. We're going to get to some GTB questions. Before we get to those, I do want to play this for our next topic, Left. And
have a lot of times, a lot of opportunities to make history. Turning down the Notre Dame job was hard. Man, you walk in there, you see Marcus Freeman. This guy's like a rock star. But we had unfinished business here. Just signed 85% of what became the #1 portal class in the country. I came here to do something that had never been done at this program before. We've never even been to the Big 12 championship before. I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night if, man, I hadn't accomplished that mission with Coach McGuire. People are going to have many times to, man, take other jobs and opportunities. You're not going to have a lot of times, a lot of opportunities to make history.
So that is James Blanchard, who is the general manager for the Texas Tech Raiders, talking about having to make the decision between becoming the general manager at Notre Dame or returning back to Texas Tech.
Okay.
And you heard it there, Left. It's a tough decision. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, you walk in, you're talking to Marcus Freeman as Notre Dame, but the value of being able to build your own and finishing what you started meant more. And you talked about it. What Notre Dame has built is what a lot of people consider to be, if not the, but one of the best rosters in all of college football. James Blanchard has done it a different way, had to do it a different way at Texas Tech, right? Like, there's no real foundation of high school recruiting success for Joey McGuire at Texas Tech. So to take that next step, they had to be bullish and aggressive in the transfer portal. And he did that. Gave a lot of control over to James Blanchard within that program to construct said roster. And Marcus Freeman, in my opinion, did two major things that led to Notre Dame having the roster that they currently have. The first thing he did is that he was honest about the level of talent on the roster when he was the defensive coordinator. He audited the roster, not just his linebacker room, not just his defense as a defensive coordinator, and immediately recognized it's not enough. Few solid dudes, but it's not enough. Few cats that are really step, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
And then he recognized in this day of college football, the traditional way of Notre Dame winning at the quarterback position. We can't do it. Roster had to be shifted, talent had to be upgraded, and the quarterback had to be changed and shifted. Which is going to lead me to another subtopic. All right, because we're going to get into the breakdown of the roster and the talent, and then we're going to hear from Greg McElroy on what he feels about the Notre Dame roster.
Okay.
But I'm just going to throw this out there because I really thought about this over the last 2 days. A happy birthday to my sister-in-law, Crystal. That's why we didn't do a show yesterday. She had a grand event.
Oh, nice.
Grand event last night, man. So proud.
Dress up nice events type of thing.
Yes. I love. She is a success story, bro. Went through a lot early in her life, personal stuff, and I love seeing people endure and overcome and experience success. man, just immensely proud to be her brother. Forget brother-in-law. That's my sister. Immensely happy birthday to you, Chris B. I'm going to say this, Left, and I mean it after thinking about this roster. There's some light to be shed on quarterback coach Gino Guidugli this year, my brother.
Yeah, we talked about that. I agree.
No, we talked about it, but it's a little bit more. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we talked about what was behind CJ Carr on Wednesday. That's up over at Apple Podcasts. If you missed it, you can check out the audio podcast. We talked about what was behind CJ Carr. We have yet to see evidence of Gino Guidugli's evaluation abilities.
In what, like?
Kenny Minchie was evaluated by Tommy.
Right.
CJ Carr was evaluated by Tommy.
Yes.
Dante Moore was evaluated by Tommy.
Yes.
We have yet to see his evaluation step on the football field. We have not seen one evaluation from Gino Guidugli step on the football field.
I agree with that.
He evaluated Deuce Knight. Unfortunately, he didn't stay with the class. He evaluated Noah Grubbs. He evaluated Teddy Gerard. He evaluated Peyton Houston, even though Peyton Houston went elsewhere in the 27 class. And the 28 offers really haven't gone out. What we can't even say how we view Gino Guidugli as an evaluator.
Fair.
If I were to ask you, like, how would you grade Gino Guidugli as an evaluator of the position? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. You would have to give him an incomplete at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he can't really. I mean, he's just been a bridge for so long. Really, it hasn't been much of a impact that you can put your mark on, I guess. I mean, this would be the year you can say Gino is the most active he's probably ever been because CJ's been there. You're not dealing with a transfer. You're responsible for him at this point. Maybe not for him coming in, but this is year 3 with CJ and Gino. And really your first year where it's like, Gino, what have you taught CJ to be a next level player? Which the jump is from starter to Heisman, which I mean, it's a tough thing when this is like your first year under the spotlight because you've been bridging quarterbacks this whole time, unfortunately. So your job has kind of been easy in a way. You can't, how invested can you get into Sam Hartman in 6 months? A Riley Leonard in 6 months? The 3 guys you have, the guy that probably would be your best sense of evaluation in Kenny left and didn't even play. So Gino really could have been like, Kenny was more so whatever, but it's just tough because what's the relationship with Gino and CJ? How do they even interact? Is it even a tight relationship? I mean, CJ can't say.
I would venture to say they have a really good relationship. I think they have a really good relationship.
It'll change on this year because things are at stake.
It's a lot at stake.
They were boys. They could have been boys these last years. Because I mean, what could Gino really do with CJ in these last couple of years? I mean, the working relationship changes this year. Because if something doesn't go right, we can't turn to the run game, can't turn to the defense. They're going to be like, well, Gino, tell him something. Don't be like Teofimo Lopez, Dad. Just say, "What happened to your power, bro?"
Oh, that was awful. Oh, dude. I don't speak on other parents. I promise you, I don't speak on other parents.
Not during the fight, though, man.
That was disappointing. I feel bad for T.O. bro. Teofimo, his dad let him down hard.
Oh man! In the midst of the fight, you not giving him no.
Where's your footwork? Where's your time? That's all you have to say.
That's all you gotta say in the midst of that's been Gino though. That's been Gino these last few years. Remember when Sam Hartman threw the touchdown over his head in Clemson? Where's the good throwing at, bro? Throw the touchdown to him, bro. He's wide open. That's what that was. Riley getting helicoptered against Georgia with 90 passing yards. What coaching is there? I mean, and it's not, and like I said, I don't know how much of it is his fault. But I know this year you don't got no excuses.
Yeah.
You go from least important to most important in 1 year.
Well, I'll say this. We have given him credit multiple times on this show for Steve, Kenny, and CJ. Multiple times on the podcast, we said, yo, last year, we were like, yo, Gino's under the spotlight. CJ's the Heisman favorite this year. So obviously he did enough last year where you said to yourself. But I mean, my point, to be fair, once again, and I'll be petty, because other people on other podcasts were like, well, we're not sure. We just can't assume that the passing game is just going to automatically be better. Regardless of who wins the quarterback situation. Man, stop playing. All you have to do is go to one practice and watch those two kids throw the football compared to Riley Leonard and Steve Angeli. And you knew, okay, his passing game is going to be able to do a little bit more when they come to the forefront. Like, come on. So it's not rocket science to automatically insert these kids and the passing game is going to be better. Because as a coach, you're working with a little bit more talent. Yeah, you're working with just a little bit more passing ability. So, yeah, more than likely, they're going to make you look good. But you play a part in making them better as well. And so, like you said, Left, how much credit? You just don't know how much credit goes to a coach, any coach, when you're dealing with high-level talent, right? If I asked anybody, like, name me the offensive coordinators for Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, then tell me what have they done since Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence have left. What have they done in their careers?
Right. I mean, yes.
So how much credit do they really deserve for what Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence did versus how much credit should be given to Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson for how they improved their coach's profile in their careers? I mean,
Deshaun and Trevor both were under the same offensive coordinator through those years as well, where their track and role and development are synonymous. It's not like those two dealt with different coordinators throughout their whole time. That their greatness through different coordinators will be okay as them boosting the coach's resume. But synonymously, they've been there just like the coach has been there, and luckily their whole time there. My time there, I had 3 different guys. Ian had 2 or 3 different guys.
Yeah.
So, when you get CJ, hopefully with Denbrock and Nino can stay with the same guy for 2. You just gonna have a better product.
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza, I would say it's more on the coaches
in the system.
because he's he's a 1-year guy.
I would agree with that. He's a talent now. He's
definitely a talent.
Yeah.
But to make it work for 1 year, that's a lot of things got to go right with you being good. You just happen to have offensive, defensive coaches of the year. Like, good grief.
That's a good point.
So it is interesting, but I think for Marcus Freeman's situation and CJ, they got to make each other. Marcus Freeman got to pull his weight and put CJ in that position of, if he does the right steps and wins the right games and has the right moments, they'll be synonymous. Right now, it's Marcus Freeman playing Love Island, just looking for his quarterback of the future. I mean, and he year 4 in, so that's got to be stressful. Dabo came in by year 3 or 4, had 2 franchise guys by then, you know what I mean? And you see the difference. Now he don't got franchise guys like he had, and now he's looking like a everyday coach. And so he tried to stick to Cade Klubnik through 7 years now? He on 7 years with Cade? Let him go. It's not working.
He's coming back, right?
Yeah, something like that. Let him go.
No, he's not coming back again. No, he's not.
I'm about to say, you trust your coaching, Dabo. You can't keep, hoarding these once in a lifetime quarterbacks in your system. You haven't found one since Trevor.
Yeah.
You was 3 for 3, Taj, Deshaun, Trevor, and you done got high on your own supply. You thought it was you.
Yeah.
It was a part of you, but so many things happen. You done lost coaches. You done lost, a lot of stuff going on. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. So, that's just something that I really thought about. Like, even more importantly, this year, behind the scenes is going to be very important for Gino Guidugli, because I think we all expect that, first of all, the seal has been broken. I believe that wholeheartedly, right? At first, when we saw CJ walk out there last year and do what he did, and we saw Steve Angeli do what he did before tearing his Achilles, we saw that you can develop quarterbacks at Notre Dame, that you recruit, evaluate, recruit. All right, we saw it in 2 different places. That seal has been broken. Now, I expect Steve Angeli to come back, be a good quarterback, and I expect CJ Carr to take it to the next level. And now we can stop saying Notre Dame quarterbacks regress in year 2.
But next level means what quantitatively?
I can't tell you what next level means, bro. He's going to throw for more yardage. I think he's going to throw for more touchdowns. That's all out. And I think he'll be a top 3 quarterback when it comes to NFL draft. Now, how that relates to winning championships?
Does he have to win it to be next level?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Because anything can happen in a football game, bro.
Because Fernando became next level by winning it. In my mind,
Yeah, if Fernando did what he did numbers-wise at Cal, he's not winning the Heisman, and he's not the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. I agree. Which is why I think the coaching definitely mattered. Definitely mattered for his profile and for his ability to win. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. That's why it's a great conversation. That's why I said behind the scenes, CJ is not, we're not saying watch CJ in terms of Gino Guidugli. That backup quarterback, that's his evaluation, that's his recruiting, and that's his development.
Right.
That's all 3 phases. Whoever wins the backup quarterback and how they come along and play is the beginning of the totality of Gino Guidugli as the quarterback coach at Notre Dame, because that said quarterback will be his evaluation, his recruitment, and his development. So I'll be watching that. Man, I'll be watching the backups a lot during practices, during the spring. A lot. Because the clock starts. The clock starts with whomever wins that backup quarterback battle. It starts. I just thought nuance, that right there is going to be one thing to watch. All right, let's go to the next thing. Let's talk about roster. Is Notre Dame the best roster? Greg McElroy has some thoughts on this, left.
Talented. Some publications have them as the #1 ranked roster in the country. When it synthesized the recruiting and the portal rankings and all this other stuff. So Marcus Freeman, even though he was wooed by some NFL teams, he decided to stay in South Bend. And I think in part because of just how good this team is that he's built heading into this upcoming season. This is a team that is designed to leave no doubt in the committee's mind this time around, that's for sure. And a big part of the bullishness of their evaluation is the quarterback situation. Why is 2026 going to be different? Well, it's because it feels like for the first time in eternity, Notre Dame isn't starting a new quarterback. I mean, we've seen the Sam Hartmans, we've seen the Riley Leonards, we've seen talented guys, but in many ways they're kind of mercenaries, one-year rentals. Well, CJ Carr is the program. I mean, he's a guy that is a homegrown guy that has taken the throne, had an outstanding year last year as a redshirt freshman, had a near 170 passer rating, top 5 in the country. He's got the it factor. He's got an NFL arm. And most importantly, he's got Mike Denbrock back with another year of trying to figure out, all right, here's what my guy does well. They won't have to have that learning curve in the first couple weeks of the season anymore. Denbrock knows what it's going to take to get the best out of CJ Carr from week 1 through week 13, and hopefully for Irish fans beyond that. The continuity between a top 5 quarterback and an elite play caller is probably the most valuable asset in college football. So while other teams are installing new terminology and feeling out their new portal quarterbacks, CJ Carr and Denbrock, they'll be playing chess while everyone else is still playing checkers. It's right now, Carr is currently a Heisman co-favorite next year for a reason. He's not just managing this offense, he's going to be weaponizing it for sure, because they've changed a lot from a personnel standpoint at wide receiver. Their weaponry over the last few years has just gotten better and better and better.
So that's Greg McElroy talking about the talent on this Notre Dame roster. Now, I'm going to throw you this alley-oop and just clear the runway for you, Left.
Okay.
Because hearing what he said, I like what he said about CJ and Denbrock. You literally just said that. And I brought that clip up because it's literally what you just said on the back end of our last segment with him having the same quarterback coach in OC, now going to his 3rd year. So he now begins to not just manage the offense. You said this in the middle of last season, like CJ is just managing the offense.
Right.
You talked about it, just breaking down the film. He's just managing the offense. But now the challenge is, as Greg McElroy said, he has to weaponize this offense, because that's different. That's going to the next level. That's an expectation of going to the next level for one CJ Carr.
Has to be able to design an offense.
That's true.
He can't just rely on mercenary tactics. I mean, think about it. He was playing, let's come up with stuff fitting to support a guy to get him through a season. He's been doing that for so long, even with CJ, because we saw it in the play calling, and you can tell it was through the play calling, because when the times got tough, where the offense had to have identity to move forward, either CJ looked out of place, out of whack, not fit, forced, wasn't his. He was managing those situations. Now the identity of the offense is around CJ. Third and short, go to CJ's best plays, which requires you, like Elroy was saying, you got to know your guy. You have a higher pressure now because you can't get away with calling BS because you got good players. In order to win, you have to be like, how do we get the most out of CJ's ability, which is what you want as an offensive coordinator, like a Todd Monken and a Stetson Bennett for all them dang years. But if you haven't been doing it for all them dang years, going on 3 years almost, can you make that flip? Because there's no bailout in this offense this year, unfortunately. We just don't have one. I mean, can you name a bailout thing we can go to if it's not CJ offensively? Yeah, I would like to say our running backs, but are you trusting the running game being the lion's share of the carries for the offense like it was last year? This year, you just no. You're not. No. You want the decisions mostly to be made by the guy that's supposed to win the Heisman. I mean, unfortunately, that's what people are looking for. That's what we have to do to be successful. So Denbrock's got to be CJ's right-hand guy. You got to help that. You can't just say, all right, CJ, you're supposed to win the Heisman now. Go do it, and we'll try to figure it out on the way. No. What we see from Mendoza, y'all can say he's not as the caliber of the previous Heisman, whatever. But I know one thing. When I watched their games, that offensive coordinator said, I'm calling Fernando's best stuff when in doubt. Period. And everybody on TV, me and you, we wasn't in none of those meetings, but me and you sitting right here know exactly what Fernando Mendoza was going to get in tough situations. If we set it on 3, it'll be back shoulders. Like, what you mean? 16 games in a row, their go-to, because the offensive coordinator knew Mendoza's strength. RPOs and back shoulders. We don't care who we playing. We're that good at it. We don't care who we're playing, Denbrock. CJ's best throws, we're going to them. And they worked every time. I mean, they worked against the best defense, coverage, player. He threw it to different guys because that was his best thing he did. We even said in the game, how you in the championship, they spammed the heck out of the same little read post throw. Spammed it. Oh, it worked. We're just going to keep going it. I mean, we're here at the thing. And Mendoza fed off of that and played well because he was confident. He like, when in doubt, we're going to call that little read thing with the post. I'm there. And then we go from there. You know, I start running on. That's what I want to see from CJ. We've seen so many different versions of CJ through the season because I knew that it wasn't about him because he was managing the offense. Think about it. First game, he was the RPO king. RPO king. We threw the heck out of some RPO, throw it to the sideline, read, throw. Didn't work. Then he turned into the play action post guy. And then it didn't work USC. Then he turned into to dump it off and do this. And he just had too many different CJs. Now we got away with it because that was never the main attraction, right? That was never what teams was deathly afraid of going into games. But now teams are going to be like, well, shoot. If I had to guess, CJ should be the guy we should stop. Now the game's a whole different game. Ain't no relaxing for CJ. Oh, I just, turn around and hand it off a 94-yard touchdown. Let me just take some pressure off, throw this swing pass or this check down. And, if I don't get this post, whatever, I'll just run the ball down there. Like, if I don't hit this deep pass, we'll just run it down there. It's either way we're going to get, those luxuries aren't there. Now teams are like, we're going to be like USC. We're going to play too high, take away all them little rail shots and them outside throws you like, Let the running game do what they do, and then let's see if you can beat us. And we saw him, I'm not going to say struggle, but he wasn't at his best. We took notice that USC game that, they might have tried to put a couple things against CJ on the defensive list this week. It wasn't all about the two running backs. So those are the films I'm looking at first at Denbrock. Like, okay, we got to figure out, when in doubt, what is your best concept? What is your best go-to call? Because Denbrock is good for calling the same play. Now, we know Denbrock going to be real simple if he needs to. Halfback dives 3 times in a row just to see, just to whatever. So he'll do it, but he needs to do it for his quarterback. And what makes it a little challenging, or a little more challenging, is CJ's not the type of quarterback that Denbrock calls plays for. It's not. He can't just be like, all right, it's getting a little hectic. Let's calm him down and run a read option. No. Ain't no. Oh, we're going to do his quarterback dive. No. That can't be your go-tos when CJ's the most important guy with the football now. You can't afford them, we just need to pick up 2 yards and run a draw. That can be a season-altering hit. Just because that's not his game. I'm not going to say it's not his game, but he'll do it. He a team guy. He'll try to pick up the first down, but that's not how you want to live. CJ need to be going up there, check. Oh, check the route. Oh, flip the play. Oh, protection. Mike 58. Hut. Oh, we got him off sides. To give him that's CJ mastering the offense to me, because he lacks in Lamar Jackson legs. You know what I mean? And that's fair, but that puts you got a coach now. You can't just be out there doing whatever. So I think it's a different challenge, because Jaden Daniels, I'm sure Denbrock probably made a lot of calls during that season where he was like, well, this is what I like, but if it don't work, I'm sure he'll run around. He'll make something of it. I don't know if you can do that with CJ. I mean, we've seen him have glimpses of it, but I don't feel comfortable living with him on 3rd and short, running 20 yards, turning circles, turning the field, switching around just to pick up a first down. I don't want to live like that. Maybe save a couple for his highlights, But whatever, I'm just talking. I do think, though, it's a huge year. I think Marcus Freeman should be more involved, man. Shoot, let Marcus Freeman sit on some of them offensive. I'm not saying he doesn't, but take more of an interest, more than whatever he was doing now. That's what I'm saying. Well, whatever he's doing now, do a little bit more, find a little bit more interest in your franchise quarterback. This is not a mercenary. This has to be handled differently than years before. I don't mind a little bit of babying. I mean, it's the most important dude in the program. This is not like Riley where he's G. Willikers, everybody, we all helping Riley, he's good old neighbor neck. No. This is the golden calf in a sense, because it means more to what it means for the program. Like, we developed him, he came in under us. We didn't get him from China or from Mongolia or transferred him. He's here. So him winning it is like, okay, Brady Quinn next up, move over is CJ now. That's what this means. Riley even win a championship, just be like, oh, we won with the next Rudy movie. He's just such a good guy. We got to put him in the lore of Notre Dame. With CJ winning, it's like, oh, yeah, this is – Notre Dame should have been doing this for 30 years, that whole thing. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, I think you just gave one of the best breakdowns of what Greg McElroy said, Love, which is Mike Denbrock and CJ should be out there playing chess this year. They should be playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Yeah, it shouldn't be no catch-up phase. Do not play catch-up. I don't want to be seeing you like CJ looking at the sideline like, what is this? Or what's this called? Like, no. He need to be, it need to be that stuff where I'm telling you, it's just what happens. Like Signetti and Mendoza just had whatever that relationship was. They said it was like the up relationship with the grandpa and the happy kid, and whatever you need. Whatever you need to get that synonymous, you know what I mean? And I just think it makes sense to have, you need a team to get to the Heisman. CJ can't do it on talent alone. He can't do it on talent alone.
Yeah. Lucky Podcast. Let's get to a couple of these GTBs left. Jay Melvin, shout out to you, my brother. Sean left, do you both think Notre Dame has the best roster in college football? And if so, what do you think gives it the edge over a Texas or Oregon?
I don't even know if it's about having the best roster in football. You need a competitive one. I just think coaching matters so much more, especially after learning last year. Both of those coaching staffs I thought were good. I thought Signetti and his office in DC of coordinators were just more locked in on what – I mean, both teams stuck to their guns. Yeah, they both had talented rosters in different ways, so we learned that you can't just buy your way there all the time. We learned that there's different ways to get there. You can have a superstar and then talent around it, or you can have an older team, whatever. But the coaching is what stood out the most. Both teams had an identity. They didn't get away from it. They went to it when in doubt. They rolled with it. And it beautifully worked for both. Both teams had a chance to win. It's not like one philosophy was just so over-dominating where it was like, okay, we got to reevaluate how they got there. No, it was like they went on their guns. Indiana went on their guns, and they had a great battle. So for Notre Dame, I don't know if we have the best roster. I think we have one that can get us there. When you talk about the pieces, you got a quarterback, boom. Got you some talented defensive players, boom. O-line is good enough, boom. Right? Okay, you can do some things. Whereas now, once you get to that second season, which is the playoffs, how much can the coaching like be a difference? I think Signetti's just aesthetic, the way he goes about it, even to how he eats Chipotle the same day, same menu every day, just that whole mystique, it matters. Now, not every coach is going to have that personality, but it's a process to it. So, you know, I think Marcus Freeman just has to show his process this year because it's no longer about showing that he can do the job. I think that's a thing you can fall in love with, is proving that you're the man for the job. But now it's like, okay, we know you the guy. Now, enough commercials, enough kissing babies. You know, I think that's where you miss that window, right? Signetti came in on straight coaching and business. He ain't come in trying to shoot commercials and fly on all the planes with the recruiting. He ain't do all, not that you can't, because you need some of that. But Signetti's process got him to a championship faster because I think it was just more focused on strategy and football and all of that. Not that Marcus Freeman isn't, but I can tell, and I'm not in the building, that he's pulled in many different ways. Like, ain't no weird story on Marcus Freeman process at all. It's just like this man is the man of the people. He got a schedule every day. He moved like the president. Everything is to a T. He ain't got no quirks. He got to be a dad. He got to be a coach, a recruiter, and like he buckets in everywhere. He's not like he's everywhere, you know. So I can't be like, oh, he's 100% football. It's impossible. This man's in a suit one day, joggers the next, working out. I mean, he's everywhere. So I think the focus on the football aspect should come from Denbrock and the quarterback.
John A1 GTB question. If you have a question or a super chat, throw it in. We'll get to it. We greatly appreciate you in advance. Can Chris Burgess Jr. or Armel Mukam press the transfer D tackles the way that Tay Johnson and Adon Shooter pressed the transfer safeties and Rod Hurd in 24 and Jalen Stroman at 25? Well, it's funny you say that because Tay Johnson He didn't press enough. Based upon what was seen and heard during fall camp in the spring, Tay Johnson should have started at safety. So I don't know how much they can press. I'm being petty right there. Just, I just want to point out that I'm on record saying Tay Johnson should have started from week 1, and it probably would have changed the outcome of that game against Miami. But I digress. Christopher Burgess Jr.,
That's right.
his progression, which is absolutely amazing, man. I really
What
thought he was
happened to him though? Was he just developing and didn't play as much, or
he was a true freshman, dog. Why do you guys expect true freshmen just to come in?
man? Because he didn't look like no true freshman. We both saw that all that picture.
He's never looked like a true freshman.
We're
Man,
like,
you have to remember Bryce only played due to multiple injuries as a true freshman.
Right.
So
Chris Burgess came in like he supposed to play today. Like, that's why I was just asking. So I'm like, some guys get it, but he
in all fairness, Christopher Burgess Jr. put on 30 pounds.
Jesus.
Freshman
Okay,
year.
so that was supposed to be even better.
Yeah, but that pushed him inside left.
Okay.
He got outside.
He got 2 big.
He got big enough that they're like, all right, we got to put you inside.
We got to put you on the inside. He ain't got too big on us too quick.
So I don't think his ability and what he was doing, from what I know and what has been shared with me, there was really an opportunity. There was an opportunity that if they made it to the playoffs, there was an opportunity that he would have gotten snaps.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, he's too. I mean, come on, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. We got guys. We got them. They on there somewhere. Like,
so
I hope he's not like Tyson Ford. Because I don't know why I keep thinking. I thought Tyson Ford could have been real good for us, man. Maybe it just one of the things didn't work out or whatever. But
yeah,
his size, man, 6'9".
I think the worst thing happened. This is going to sound crazy. The worst thing that happened for Armel Muka was the return of Jason Onye.
Oh, really? Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because you had Jason Onye's return along with, Francis Brew. You're expecting him to play.
Yeah.
Tion Gray, you're expecting him to play, right? Jason Onye is coming back.
Yeah, he gotta play. Yeah, he's tied.
Chris Burgess was on the verge of getting ticked at the end of last year.
He gotta play. Yeah, he gotta play.
Armel, forget
what you gonna do? Yeah,
pressing the starters, just like press for time.
Press for time.
Just
man.
press for time. Like,
good grief.
To compare, I don't think Armel Mukum. I'll put it in the atmosphere because I love professions and confessions. So, an affirmation. So, I'm going to put it in the atmosphere that Armel Mukum is going to have a Tay Johnson-like offseason in the spring and in fall camp. I'll put it out there. I would love nothing more than to see Armel Mukum constantly making plays again and again and again like Tay Johnson did.
But Tay Johnson got the chance.
No, he did not. That's my point. He did not get the chance.
Huh?
They still started Jalen Stroman. They still.
Oh, that was quick.
It was obvious in the offseason that Tay Johnson was the better player. It was obvious. But they just wanted to give the veteran the start.
Oh, man. But you got Charlie Partridge should be a good mediator of figuring that out, though.
But how does that work? Does Charlie Partridge come in and now he determines who's going to be listed where during the spring going into fall camp? Or does he come in saying, Jason Onye's returning?
This boy Ash is going to put him on beat because they working together.
Okay.
Ash going to be like, this who I like. This who I like. Keep an eye out for this.
Okay.
And then he going to coach based off of that, off of Ash's perspective. I think they're going to team up on Marcus Freeman to put their front seven together. So whatever, I think he's really going to be what Chris Ash said he was going to be his first year coming in and taking notes and then just coach based on what the game plan of the defense is. So whoever fits into that based on who Chris Ash likes, and whoever Chris Ash got to like Onye if he coming back. I'm sure they had a conversation. But then again, Ash and Partridge, how much relationship do they have with any of those guys? How much was Chris Ash talking to the D-line? I mean, I know he came in talking to him, but
how involved was he in the positional rooms?
Yeah, but now all of you guys have different working relationships. It's like it's like your stepmom got way more respect now in the house because she married now.
Yeah.
So it's like y'all working relationship is different. You can't just, it's a little bit more demanding in certain ways. So I think Onye is secure enough to come back to know he's got a good position in that D-line. Armel Mukum has probably some – I think, if anything, everybody's open to proving because these guys are relatively new. They have a chance to develop a new relationship, a brand new relationship because they don't even have a reference because Al Washington left. So Charlie couldn't even go to talk to Al and be like, what you thought, what you thinking? He can't,
Right. If Al Washington was still there,
he'd throw some insight.
Yeah.
So this is fresh eyes almost, which can be good or bad. It's different than Cider, who got his eyes set on different things. This is a dude come in saying, look, I'm here to hire the best man for the job under these guidelines. And I like all of you until I figure it out, so maybe that's a good thing for Armel Mukum, but Marcus. How much is Marcus Freeman involved in either side of the football at this point? Because it just seems like they're both getting further and further away from him. At least it's like having inside mans and stuff. I don't know.
All right, let's get this last one before we move on. And we're going to talk about the actual roster, but 3 things that you need to win a championship. And we're going to ask whether or not Notre Dame has that going to the 2026 season. Jay Melvin, once again, which of the portal pickups was your guys' favorite? Mine was Keon Keeley because he was the crown jewel of CMF's first recruiting class and always felt like the guy we let get away. Now we got him back. Who was your favorite pickup, Lev?
Probably DJ McKinney from Colorado because I feel like having 2 potential first, second round corners can highlight our defense in a way where we can finally see some pass rush on a high level and get a key name pass rusher like a Chase Young or a Boza or one of these marquee guys. Because the secondary is going to be locked up. So that's why I'm excited. But I think all the transfer guys we got in with Keon and the 2 receiver transfers, I think are an interesting thing to talk about just because they're not Malachi Fields decorated coming in. So it's not like Malachi is blessing CJ necessarily with experience and trustworthiness in games. And these guys got just as damn near as much as CJ, but they got good talent.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back to saying Notre Dame's receiver room talent is there in every aspect. I don't like we can have an I don't know about Ohio State room, but we can have a productive, draftable group of guys in that room if things play out right. You got the quarterback, you got the coordinator, and a bunch of guys that aren't necessarily number ones, but shoot, Jaden could be a starter somewhere. Faison can start somewhere. All these guys are starters, so we can do something with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucky Lefty Podcast. You go over to FanDuel, FanDuel.com. You'll find the Seattle Seahawks installed as a 4.5-point favorite. Super Bowl 60 out there, Levi Stadium, the blue jean spot, as they call it. You can find that, prop bets, and much more for Super Bowl 60 over at FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app. All right, Left, a last segment of the show. You check out this Notre Dame roster. We answered whether or not we felt like they had one of the best rosters in all of college football. But I want you to listen to new Kentucky head coach Will Stein and his thoughts on Indiana, their success winning a national championship, his experience playing them, and the things that it takes to win a national championship as he tries to win one at Kentucky. Check it out, Left.
It does come down to players and the coaches and the scheme. And you look at Indiana, what they were able to do. They had an older roster. They were as good as any team I've ever gone against, and they had elite players. Their quarterback's going to be the first pick in the draft. So let's not confuse it. They have elite players and elite scheme, and they're coached extremely well. That's what everybody's striving for. That was the top of the spear this year. And I was a part of 2 games where they whooped my ass, just to be frank. And they played better than everybody that they played against. So it's a credit to them and their staff, their players, their buy-in from their administration, their fans. You know, I've seen, you guys have probably seen it on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. You know, Kirk Cignetti's like first game, it's like not even that full, you know, and then he just goes in there and wins. And so they're definitely the standard of college football as of now, and it's exciting for all of us to fight to get to that place.
So Kentucky head coach Will Stein Left said it is coaching, players, and scheme, which is funny because when you were just talking about CJ and what you expect him and Mike Denbrock and Marcus Freeman to collab on to make this team championship level and elite level and for him to progress and take that next step. Will Stein seems to echo that when it comes to winning a national championship, that it takes elite coaching, elite players, and elite scheme to ultimately win a national championship. So my question to you, we feel like that Notre Dame has elite players.
Elite scheme was what we was always missing.
Okay, so you picked it up right where I needed you to. Go right ahead.
And a lot of it is because it's been this hogwash of not, I don't know, giving up the keys or trusting relying too much on a defensive prowess, or it's like a funk at Notre Dame because we could easily buy the best quarterback, buy the best coach, give them every resource, and it's the place where as a quarterback you want to be. But the scheme has never been about the quarterback. Ever. Maybe a little bit with me, but that was based on running because I could do a little bit of that, but that was because of running. Mm-hmm. So it's like this is a huge mind shift to have straight identity because that's all we're missing. Ohio State championship game we lost because of identity, and we talked about it before the game. We had no X factor superstar offensive thing we were going to if we were to ever be down. We weren't built to come back being down by more than 10 points. It just wasn't. It's just not how we were built. But now the scheme has to be the final piece, the last infinity stone, because you got everything else. All your coaches getting hired to bigger and better places and winning awards. We had 2 coaches in the top 10 for recruiting in college football. 2 of them. One was the number 1. So it can't be the coaching. It can't be the players. You got number 1 corner. You got top 10, top 5 defense 3-4 years in a row. You got 42 points averaging on offense. You win 10 games. I mean, like, what are we talking about? It can't be the players. So it has to be the scheme. And it ain't the whole scheme. So we just missing a half of the half. Or half of the third. So we really like, what's half of a third? So if we 66% and we half of that other third, so it's half of 33. Ain't no half. So we like 17 and a half or 16 and a half plus 66 Now you like 70-something% there. Because you're not even missing the host. The defensive scheme is there. It is strictly that 15-20% offensive dominant scheme. Not to have, we got plays. We run plays. That's all we do in offense. We run a bunch of plays. Where is the scheme? I've been trying to find the scheme in Notre Dame's offense for years. And scheme is shown in the toughest situations in games, because that's when you're going to call your best plays. Our best plays in tough situations have been atrocious. In red zone, 2-point, short yardage, backed up. All of them been terrible. We just wear on teams because we run enough plays. You got 80 plays with a Jadarian, a Jeremiah Love, and some other cool good guys. You're gonna get something. I mean, we were scoring on ridiculous. I mean, come on, guys. We were scoring on ridiculous stuff. Swing passes, I formation, fullback dives, halfback dives. Like, where was the scheme in the play call where you like, oh, dude ran wide open. Good grief. Oh, shoot. He was. No, it's been MALIK jump ball, good play. Double post, good play, because they have to play 11 people in the box. I guess that's scheme, or is it taking what defense gives you? See, there's a difference between taking what defense gives you and then scheme where teams can't stop you, like IU. IU was running stuff that was like, damn, well, I mean, that's just, he's just going to get that. You just got to get that. You're going to give that up. We don't have nothing where we had to force our way through things like, okay, Jeremiah Love, make a crazy spin, 60-yard run, jump over a dude, stiff arm a guy, look at the sideline, wave to your mom, go talk to your dad in the stand, like all of that. Now that's special, but you can't rely on that to win those. I mean, come on, man. What did Ohio State do to win? They rely on that front four. When Ohio State won a championship, they were Jack Sawyer and whoever else they had. That's who they won the game with. If we don't have a scheme by game one.
Wait. I'm glad you said that. They had 4th and half a yard. Called timeout. Who did they go to, left? Ohio State. 4th and half a yard.
Their best player.
They had 2 NFL running backs in the backfield.
One's in the Super Bowl.
And controlled the line of scrimmage all game long.
Okay, they could have easily picked it up.
4th and half a yard.
They go for 40 yards.
Who did they go to, left? Who did Ryan Day go to?
He didn't see nobody before on that field. He didn't see nobody else. He saw the situation, the clock, and number 4. He said, oh, yeah, it's easy. He didn't care what Notre Dame was bringing. Notre Dame brought an all-out blitz. All out. And they took the chance and said, you know what? All-out blitz with all the money in the world on the line. I'm going to just go to my best player. That's how you're supposed to coach. That's how you're supposed to. It wasn't no complicated, man. And you see the still pictures, everybody's pointing to 4. Before the play, everybody point. Man, identity. What happened when Ohio State played IU? IU went straight identity. They stopped that run game. They played tough on man, on Jeremiah, whatever. And they back shouldered the hell out of Ohio State. And they won the game. That's it. They didn't care they won 13-10. They did not care. They said, we're going to win with identity and scheme. That's what make great players look really good. CJ looked really good taking the leftovers of Jeremiah and Jadarian's production. Just the easy stuff. Okay, we're going to get a one-on-one because they selling out to the run. What Boston College do? Sold out to the run. Sold out. That's what they say pregame. They said, look, we're going to have to do something different here. I mean, the all 22 copy of Boston College will never happen to CJ again for the rest of his career unless he gets another 1-2 combo like that, which would never. I mean, that's a rare thing. Come on. Nobody will ever play CJ like that again, like Boston College did. And we almost lost that game. So what's that tell you?
Yeah, they sold out, bro. They sold out on Jeremiah and Jadarian every play.
Almost won. How is like selling out and they still had to make amazing plays? Like they sold out on the play. He had a 94-yard touchdown. They sold out. That's why he was able to run so far because they was all at the line of scrimmage.
He was able to look at our sideline and have a conversation on his way to the touchdown.
Come on, man. Come on. Zone. Nobody in the world is going to play CJ like that ever again. So you got to scratch that whole film out.
Yeah.
You can't look at that film and be like, okay, this is how we're going to play Boston College next year. No. It's like teams were telling us pre-game, Pitt is not going to tell us next year, hey, we don't care if they score 100. It's not going to happen. Like, come on. Pat Narduzzi be a fool to tell you next year, hey, we don't care if CJ wins the Heisman and gets 100. The threat's not there, guys.
It's not there yet. They're gonna have to put it on film like the first 3 to 4 weeks. The first 3 to 4 weeks for this offense.
Yeah,
they're scared of living daylights.
You got to.
You got to.
Man, I'm talking about Denver. I gotta say we got to hit 60 these first 4 weeks. Back them up off you because they're gonna try us.
You better, man, like Bugs and Michael Jordan saw the Monstars walking out the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
Teams got to be afraid early. Man. Yeah. Because if they not, I'm telling you, it's going to be a tough year. It's going to be a tough, because we can't roll over on teams like we did the years before, where we just sending waves of guys and we got talent where you just can't, not all game. You hanging with Jeremiah and Jadarian all game is not likely. And you got a decent O-line. Come on, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Now it's like, all right, CJ, can you beat us all 4 quarters? That's what it's gonna take right now, because I don't see another offensive player carrying us through a quarter. It's like a collective effort. You know, you're gonna get a little pass activated, get a little run going. You're gonna get lucky, you're gonna get a fumble,
I think, you know what? I think the advantage is if you really take advantage of this transition to everything being on CJ's shoulders, it's going to be such a departure from what teams are used to facing Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
That it's going to be a while. It's going to take college football a while to catch up.
Because remember, the game plan against Notre Dame for years, 10 plus years, is one high, load the box. That's it. Even when we went to the championship, it was one high, load the box. Last year, no high, 11 in the box. I mean, seriously, that's what they was doing.
That's definitely what Boston College did.
Pitt did it too. That's how Jeremiah loved it to spin and run for 80. They did the same thing. So now I don't know what teams are thinking they're gonna do. Maybe watch the USC tape. But what are teams gonna go in there doing? Notre Dame is unlike they have been ever before. In 1 year, they are literally going to be a different team.
Yeah.
So either we're not ready or they're not ready.
It's gonna be fun to watch, though.
Yeah, I'm saying either way, somebody's not going to be ready. Either opposing defense is not going to be ready, or we're not going to be ready. If we're not ready, it's going to be a tough year. I don't care if we're playing my community college, Sinclair Community College down the street. It's going to be a tough year. But if other teams aren't ready, dang, how we going to stop them throwing the ball now? We ain't never had to practice that. Navy going to look crazy. Navy going to be like, what the heck is 5 wide? We ain't never practiced against no Notre Dame 5 wide team.
Yeah, now that you just brought up the Navy aspect of it, that is crazy.
They used to have an edge. They like, we just going to be hard-nosed, just make them hurt. They going to be like, we didn't know we had to be in condition, running wind sprints, jump balls, concepts, zones, we ain't know all that.
Yeah. That's a great point. If they come out 4 or 5 wide against Navy and just start throwing the ball all over the field, bro,
team's gonna be looking real crazy. Hell, I'm gonna be looking crazy. I don't know how I'm gonna react because I'm like, where are the yards gonna come from? Because even when we pass
what
a
if
little
they come
bit,
out? What if
we
they
get
come out
skittish.
4 wide? What if they come out 11? No, 4 wide, 11 personnel, first series and up tempo against Wisconsin.
Yeah, no tight end. We can take it that far. No tight end. Get a Jordan Faison, Gray House, and the 2 new transfers. We rolling like that.
Man,
the fact we can do it is the funny part.
Right.
We can. Right. We could have did it last year and been a strength. So we can't be. It's like that's the thing. We cannot be skittish. We can't be like, all right, we up a touchdown. Let's get to running the clock out. That you can't even live like that no more.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. So let's look at this roster left on the way out. Let's look at this roster and just kind of check out what we're seeing here. You see your quarterbacks. These 2 freshmen.
They should let the spring game. I'm telling you, spring game, CJ don't even play. For what?
You know what? I wouldn't be mad at that. I
really wouldn't even let CJ. I swear I wouldn't even let CJ. I mean, it's a dilemma. How much do you even let CJ practice in the spring? It's the first time when we're comfortable enough to say we got our starter. We ain't, quarterback competition to death, whatever. I would sincerely focus the spring and spring game, the whole spring and the spring game on those 2 backups.
So you have CJ back there with Marcus Freeman doing the
CJ playing that advisory role. Put a hat and a little mic on him. Put a polo on him. Seriously, because clearly we don't even treat at the Riley Leonard. I could care less about the spring because we can get to the championship in 6 months. Clearly. So the spring means nothing to me. It means everything to find out identity and who you got so far. I'm letting Blake Herbert and Noah Grubbs get every rep almost. I let CJ run like the first half of practice, be like, all right, CJ, take your pads off. I don't even want you, you know what I'm saying? You go take snaps under center and throw to your new guys a little bit. But them 2, Noah Grubb, because first of all, both of them are pretty good, I think. Right? Like they said and this is a problem I don't want to have after CJ's gone. That's why it's so important. I need to know, like, if I'm Geno, because you got the kid coming in. You know what I'm saying? The Teddy Gerard kid, they building his hype like he Jaden Wade or something. So he need to be able to know what the competition is, because I mean, both of these dudes, they stay tall as heck. They young. I'm not trusting no Massachusetts dude. I just can't do it.
So you going from Canada to Massachusetts. You
just
at the border and start coming south.
Man, I can't. It's gonna be tough for me. But but how are you gonna tell the difference? Because bringing in this new kid is not going to make it any easier. So I need Noah Grubbs and Blake Herbert to battle it out to the death in the spring game. I'm talking about live, no red jersey. Even in practice, I got it. Because even if one of them get hurt, it's good. Dang near good. That's an easier way of figuring it out if one of them go down. But we got to see who can take a hit, who can, because all the rest of the guys are just all these guys are expendable in a way. From Quincy to Alex Whitman, all these guys is expendable to me. I'm pushing the limits on, because if we lose one, what's the difference? Seriously. If we lose one of our receivers right now, what is the difference? I mean, my goodness, we gonna be sad over not that they're not important, but like Devin Fitzgerald in my eyes is no different than Quincy, no different than Jaden, no different than Bubba Frazier. So if we lose 3 or 4 of them due to some heated battles and close throws because they trying to prove a spot, okay, good, shoot. Because I'm sure with Denbrock's offense, a Kadon Finley can be just as impactful as a Jordan Faison, just as impactful as a Great House. Right? Or am I tripping? I mean, even including them tight ends in there and how we use our running backs.
He's
Man,
I will not argue.
even Elijah Burris looked pretty good.
Burris. Yeah.
We got NFL talent. I mean, NFL sons on the offense, man. I mean, like, even if I'm Denbrock, I'm, shoot, throw a little Kadon Finley in there. It make me look good. Devin Fitzgerald, Larry paid for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Larry usually pays for dinner. So Devin got to get some snags in practice.
Let me think. Probably the most talented and deepest. No, I'll say deepest. I'll hold off on talented. One of the deepest wide receiver rooms since your day. And that's with them not having a Will Fuller or a CJ Procise in the slot that eventually got moved to running back. I mean, the guys that were pups in the wide receiver room when you were there ended up being dudes, even when you left.
I mean, these are babies. SD.
Dude. Hey, what do you think about
freshman, sophomore, freshman, sophomore, freshman? These are these are CJ gotta. This is why CJ gotta be so great. Your circumstance, CJ, you supposed to be the greatest walking, talking, breathing Notre Dame quarterback ever. Look at this, right? You just gotta raise these babies, make these babies on this roster right here can last Marcus Freeman a good 4 or 5 years if catered right. You can feed off of this for the next 4 or 5 years. Because first of all, you got all NFL talent, all NFL dad sons on here. That's unusual. You got a Hall of Famer in Larry Fitzgerald's son, Hall of Famer in Bettis' son, Hall of Famer in Burris' son, Hall of Famer in Kadon Finley's son. So that, I mean, even if I'm
wait a minute. You tell Plaxico might be a Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that's okay. He's a Hall of Fame. He's a respected NFL guy. He's a
facts. All respected and productive players in the NFL. Definitely. All pro.
Even if I didn't know nothing about football, I'm just reading the roster. I'm like, dang, they got something, right? They got something.
Yeah.
They got something. So I'm like, come on, guys. Like, at the end of the day, we got to be productive in some way.
Man, look, you look at these receivers, like you said, they are pups. They are pups as you look up and down. It's incredible. I'm going to say something, man. It jumps out to me when I saw, okay, Bubba Frazier. I wonder if Bubba Frazier asked before. Yeah, that's wearing that 4 jersey now. It's a little different. Wearing that 4 jersey, especially after the dude before you put on a show for 2 years in that jersey. Wearing that 4 jersey, that's a little bit of a spotlight. And for a true freshman to come in and be given that jersey number, I don't know if that says anything about what Notre Dame thinks he can do as a true freshman, or whether or not this young man really believes in himself and asked to wear number 4. I think that's really interesting. Quincy Porter getting the 0, going the route of Malachi Fields. Tight end room. Dude, Jack Larson is up to 247. Man, they have some big guys. Some big guys in the tight end room. Ian Primer's not on the roster because he's not at Notre Dame yet. This is the spring roster. I'm sure Ian Primer will be on the fall roster once he gets to school. But yeah, you just look at what Preston in 2 years, Preston Friesel will probably be 6'4", 245, 243. That's how transformative, like, that first year and a half is going to be for his body. Offensive line group, Cam Herron. I can't wait to see Cam Herron in campus. The fact that he's up to 291, because Cam Herron he plays with such great leverage and technique. If he can get to 295, or heck, if he can get to 295 to 300, he's going to be good. He's going to be a really good player. He's going to be a really good player. Sullivan Garvin coming in, massive at 6'5", 308 as a freshman. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Tyler Merrill, 6'6", 329 as a freshman. They have some big boys as freshmen on this offensive line. Good gracious. Grayson McHugh, 6'7", 294. He's the small one of the litter. Him and Charlie Tom at 6'7", 274. So those two kids after a year probably going to be 6'7", 3'0", 310, 307. Joe Otting, it's good to see him at 6'4", 306. That's good for him.
Well, I mean, shoot, man. Look, you look at this O-line. I think the O-line is in a good place every year. I mean, you're just looking at the sizes. We're in the 300s again. That's pretty good. Plus, it's hard for me to think just based off of credit. I was looking at my guy, Joe Tooney. Shout out to Joe Tooney making the Bears great again. Alter High School grad. He was my left tackle.
Protector of the year. NFL Protector of the Year.
I had to think, I'm like, man, I really had some great O-linemen. Tooney was my left tackle.
You were blessed.
Zach Martin, Glenn Cheese, Ronnie Stanley, Q Nelson, the Martin brothers, Eichenberg, Steve Elmer was even in. I mean, I had a lucky, these guys are producing today, so wow, that's pretty good. But that's why I'm like, our O-line, we're going to be straight. And when I say straight, I'm saying good enough to win these games. All we need is a chance, guys. I don't know about winning the Joe Moore Award would be great because Joe Moore came from Notre Dame. I mean, we should win it every year. But that doesn't determine us being good enough to win a championship. We need to be close, though. We need to be in the room. Naturally, you just got to be in the room for this sort of stuff. But I trust the O-line is going to be in a place where we can win games, but it's got to be a switch. Now, we've had an O-line that's been great due to what we do offensively, and that's run the football.
Mm-hmm.
Are we built for 30-plus attempts in a game? We've never been tested that way. Never been tested with blocking, 60% of the game in pass pro.
That's you know what? Now that's a good point. The offensive line has always been designed to be run first. Now, with everything being about CJ, it's about CJ Carr. The offense is about CJ Carr, these wide receivers in the town. Now, this offensive line has to be really centric on protecting the quarterback. You always want your offensive line to protect the quarterback, but it becomes even more paramount. Like, you have to be able to not only run it when you need to, but you need to be able to protect. Because we saw Fernando Mendoza got beat early in that game.
I mean,
when they came to the fourth quarter and he needed protection.
Oh, they was Pat Coogan. Pat Coogan said, "I got you." But that's the thing. I mean, shoot, I've never seen it. I mean, we've had one game where the great Jack Cohn threw for 550 attempts.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your weekly Jack Cohn reference right here on the Lucky. It wouldn't be the Lucky Lefty podcast.
Come on, man.
Mentioning Jack Cohn on the airwaves.
It's a relatable fact to what we have to be this year. Jack Cohn paved the way in many ways that you got to look back on and be like, he was really a trendsetter. But that's the mindset you got to have.
Jack Cohn paved the way.
Paved the way.
Oh, man. I know it's Black History Month, bro.
Denbrock is going
about Trailblazers, but man.
Which film do you think Denbrock's going to watch? Oklahoma State or the Boston College film? Which film? He going to have to watch Oklahoma State. He's gonna be like, that's what CJ got to be like in the
He can't pull up. He can't go pull up any 2015 film, bro.
I mean, that's far back. You know, they update the system.
I'm just saying. Why does he have to pull up Jack Cohn? He can't pull up Malik. He can't pull up Ev. He can't.
I'm just saying. The most recent. How about that? He gonna go to the most recent? Yeah. So that 2020. I mean, 500 yards now. It's an artifact in the Notre Dame offensive game. Artifact. One of them things you put in the museum, had the reference. It'd be like we were once great.
For Marcus Freeman's first loss is an artifact.
It's an artifact because we ain't never, ever did something like that before. It's something Marcus Freeman should go back to. You know how you have to go back full circle in life and look back at what made you? That 500 game set the wave. He just got away from it. Now it's full circle. I got to be that guy again.
You know what's the craziest thing? Lorenzo Styles Jr. had 120-something yards receiving that game. That's crazy.
That Cole was making legends. We didn't even know. He probably, if Lorenzo did that, I know Xavier Watts was somewhere in there trying to catch a pass or two also. I mean, Jack Cole, man, I'm telling you, that's a legend. But for the offensive line, that's the mindset. Can we go into every game blocking with the mindset of 30 potential reps of pass pro? Not having that foundation of running the football to get us warm or getting us out of a jam. Have we ever had to throw out of a jam in the last any year? The only last jam we threw out of was
Game 1 against Miami last year.
We didn't throw out of a jam.
No, they had the opportunity to do it.
We were throwing RPOs. Like, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't no
I said game 1, last drive, fourth quarter. They got the ball down 3, and they had to throw the ball.
Oh, atrocious. Oh, it was atrocious. It was atrocious. It was so bad that those two plays were more memorable than any win that we had that year. That was the first game of the year.
Yeah.
Those two plays is what made Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
We literally made one guy, him and Messidor, the most famous deep pass rushers in the whole season off of one game. No, off of 2 plays in the last drive.
Well, the fact that,
I mean, they're great players, but man,
about to be 26. I mean, probably helped, but let's look at the defensive side of the ball left. I look at this D line and this defensive end room. I'm still shocked. Joseph Reif can't pick up enough weight, so they're going to keep him on the edge. He played interior most of his high school career. Keon Keeley coming back, 6'5", 270. Man, that's a big dude. And in saying he's a big dude, I like seeing Bryce Young steal that defensive end. Love that. Logan Thomas lost weight, which is crazy. I know people get mad at me and my bias, but I think it's playing out. whether it's injuries or other circumstances. I was a Marcus Lightfoot kid. I always thought Marcus Lightfoot should have been the choice. Al Washington went with Logan Thomas. I'm just saying. Of course you like him, Sean, because he's from Chicago.
No, it's them Texas dudes. I'm telling you, man.
Man, stop. Leave Texas dudes.
He the only Texas dude on the roster, and you the only one saying, I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying that because, Marcus Lightfoot is, you saw him make plays in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. He got on the field with two other dominant defensive ends. He found his way on the field. He had elite coaching, too, in Jason Taylor.
Yep, and he went to Texas instead.
No.
Maybe this
Ebenezer Utade, 6'4", 217. It's going to take a little time. Rodney Dunham is at 6. He's already 230. That's pretty good. As a freshman, 6'4", 230. That's pretty good. And Dominic Hula, who I'm looking forward to watching in the spring as well. I'm looking forward to watching him practice. He takes over Josh
How you
Burnham's
say that?
number. Not Josh Burnham's number. Dominic Hula. Cole Mullins on the inside at 273. I think he benefits from Partridge's get up the field system and coaching at 6'4", 273. Be disruptive, get up the field, tackles for losses. I think anytime he got on the field, you saw him make plays. So I think that's going to be beneficial for him. You go to the inside. This is what you want to see. You see right there with 0 left. You see the measurables. You see the measurables.
Transfer guy, yeah.
You've been waiting for that. 6'5", 333.
Yeah.
2 years of eligibility.
Where you from? Montana?
No, he's from Missouri, bro. St. Louis.
Okay.
He said Montana. That's why.
Yeah. Just making sure.
And there's your boy Christopher Burgess Jr. 6'4", 2. He's at 299. That dude was 260 when he got to Notre Dame, bro.
Oh my goodness.
You ask, man, why?
I don't know if that's good.
That dude was growing. No, that's natural, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
40 pounds?
He's just a big boy, bro.
Ain't no way you get 40 pounds in a year not playing.
No, it's 30. It was only 30. It's only 30.
God.
I remember seeing him in the spring and then seeing him at fall practice.
Was he 260 or 270?
He's 265.
Oh, man, that man came in 40 pounds heavier in one offseason.
Dude, what is wrong with your math, bro? That is
literally 260 and he 300 right now. That's 40 pounds.
That is 33 pounds. You would be in
we round in numbers.
You don't round up at 33 pounds. You round up at 35.
Oh, no. I say he came in 260.
He didn't come in at 260. I told you he came in at 265.
That's water weight. Come on, water weight. Water weight.
Not water weight. That's wild.
No, but that's a big jump. So if that improves his game, that'll be a good. But that man, he's so young. So what's that mean for the next 2 years?
I do. That's why the question about Armel Mookum getting on the field. That's why I'm like, bro.
No, I'm saying for his weight, if he's jumping 35 pounds in a season, we got to control that by junior year.
I hope he's level. I'm sure he's leveling off.
He's only a sophomore.
Bro, have you seen him though?
He's big as I'm just saying.
No, have you seen him with his shirt off?
Senior year, where is he gonna be?
Bro, this is 299. I would guarantee his body fat is probably around it's definitely single digits. If you have not seen him, this is 299 with no belly. This ain't 299 with a little overhang over your belly.
Where do you go from here with 3 years left? 3 years left. Senior year, you're gonna be what, 330 rocked up? Pause.
I don't think that was wild.
I'm just saying.
Oh man, weekend shows.
Because I went 10 pounds every year. I went about, yeah. I level, okay, I guess you could say leveling off. But I got around 50 through 4 years. He got 30 through 1. So what's that mean? Yeah, I got, okay, what? Yeah, I was about 50 through 4 years. He's got 35 through 1 year. Hopefully he just get taller. You know what I mean?
Man, Francis Bruce, 6'1", 277. I thought he was going to be heavier than that. He's twitchy as all get out, but I thought he'd be heavier than 261, 277. Brendan Vernon, 6'5", 305.
That's good.
Jason Onye, 6'5", 302. Tiki Hola, the freshman, 6'3", 280. Elijah Hughes is a 6'3", 291. Sean Sibiliano, 6'2", 342.
Golly. See, that's Steve.
We got two big boys.
You're not 6'5", though. See, that's the difference.
Oh, between him and Tion Gray, I see what you're saying.
342 is I don't know if that's the weight. I don't know, man.
Davion Dixon is
if you that big, you should have been on the field last year if you that big.
He played last year. He played when Rubio went down against USC, he played. Yeah, he got on the field last year. Armel Mookum back at 6'3", 302. Incoming freshman Elijah Golden, 6'4", 275.
Not a lot of seniors.
No.
Not a lot of older guys.
You got Brendan Vernon, Jason Onye, Francis Bruce, a junior. As far as eligibility, and Armel Mookum, yeah.
Using
like you said, left, this roster is still young. It's not like an old roster.
No, we got guys that'll be around.
Yeah.
But you're only playing 2-3 guys at a time, so it's like you're really kind of deep in that case.
Yeah.
You just going the transfer with an Onye, with a Burgess, you good right there. And then you add okay, you can do something. That's the thing. You got a whole. This is why if I'm looking at it the same way Partridge probably looking at it, like, okay, I got things I can work with.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm in here like, okay, we put together all type of combinations and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, heck yeah. Let's go to the back because they have a prototype. Jalen Sneed is 6'1", 221. Allsbury 6'2", 226. Koakia 6'2", 224. Madden Ferramo 6'2", 235. Jacoby Clapper 6'1", 209. He's an incoming freshman. Kingston 6'3", 229. Drake 6'2", 232. Teddy Rizak 6'3", 226. Tommy Powers 6'1", 213. Kahana Kia 6'2", 224. They're gonna have you right around 6'2", 220, 230 in that linebacker room.
Yeah,
we see that easy. That's the prototype with some length. Even the incoming freshman Thomas Davis Jr. shout out. He's gonna be wearing his dad's number 58, 6'2", 215.
That's so legendary, man.
That is. That's dope. Let's go to the back ends. We get ready to get out of here. Great show. Thank you for everybody that tapped in on this Saturday. Adon Schuler, 6 foot 197. Tay Johnson, 6'2", 195. Joey O'Brien is 6'5", 188.
Damn.
Ethan Long is 6'2", 201. Big Luke, 6'4", 220. Luke is like 6 pounds from being a linebacker at Notre Dame, bro.
But that's why Marcus Freeman used him everywhere.
You can. In the box, yes, you can.
Special team, everything.
Mm-hmm. And Brandon Logan, who's playing baseball right now, 5'11", 197. Nick Reddish, the incoming freshman, 5'10", 184. Go to cornerback. Dallas Golden, 6 foot, 195. Jaden Sanders, a transfer from Michigan, 6 foot, 199. That's pretty good size, 6 foot, 199.
Hold on, you said we got a Deion Sanders on the team?
Jaden Sanders.
No, you said that playing baseball and football?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Brandon Logan, the safety. Yeah, he plays baseball as well. Incoming freshman, Aiden Pouncey, 6'3", 172. I love his game, bro. I think he has a chance to get on the field along with Kari Adams, incoming freshman, 6'1", 178. Leonard Moore, 6'2", 194. So Leonard Moore is the same weight as Dallas Golden is as a sophomore. 2 inches taller, of course. Mark Zachary, just getting back from his short stint as a basketball player, 5'10", 177. Chad Smith, incoming freshman, 6'1", 163, a little light in the pants. Christian Gray is 6 foot, 185. Good length. Good length. That's good length. I like it. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Let's see if we have any more. We did have a super chat I want to get to before we get out of here. Lou Holtz, Thunder and Bolts. Thank you. And continued prayers to Coach Lou Holtz and his family. I heard Buckner has one more year. What's the play there? Tyler Buckner, I don't know how everyone else feels about him. Tyler Buckner can do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to play lacrosse, let him play lacrosse. If he wants to come back, I would want to come back and redeem myself as the placeholder. I would.
He's carved out his own little niche, man.
He has. He was a fan favorite, or had become a fan favorite because of his journey before that Texas A&M game.
Yeah, it's like you can't even like. he's like more for team support, morale at some point, you know.
Yeah. Chris Hallsfield said, I made a dynasty with Malik starting as an OC at Middle Tennessee State. After one season, Oregon called him to be the head coach. That Notre Dame STEMI is real.
I'm telling you, all it takes.
He's talking about making a dynasty in CFB 25, by the way. Jay Melvin on the way out. Sean, is Notre Dame in on some of the big high school? Jay Melvin, give me a definition of in. They went to visit all of these kids during the contact period. There is no big-time kid that Notre Dame's not going to be in on.
Right.
Unless they choose. If Notre Dame sees early that a kid is all about the NIL and the money, or their family is all about NIL money, that's the only reason Notre Dame won't be in on big-time players, especially out of California, Pennsylvania, Florida, Texas. Now, the question is where they stand. The Gavin Williams one is any defensive back recruit that's not committed. I mean, it's a big question mark with the departure of Mike Mickens. That's just the reality of it. But there's a lot of guys, especially in the Chicago Midwest area, that knew. Now it's official this morning. Aaron Henry was announced as the defensive back coach at Notre Dame and the pass game coordinator. So he has some work to do. And I believe in talking with and talking with a lot of the kids March 21st. First of all, shout out to Notre Dame having the blue and gold game. Texas brought back their spring game this year.
Was it lost?
Well, first of all, some schools stopped having the spring game because they were scared that teams were coming to the games to scout their players for the spring portal. So, you had schools canceling their spring game.
I mean, but that's so like paranoid,
Yeah, Notre Dame, April 25th, the spring blue and gold game is back on. And it seems like, talking to the recruits, that the junior day, the big junior day, is going to be March 21st. March 21st is going to be the big junior day, which means practice is going to be on that day, which also means that the pro day is probably going to be right around that area, because the pro day usually lines up with the beginning of spring practice. So I don't know if, like I said, I put up reports on Irish Breakdown all the time. I talked about Marcus Fockatu and where they stand with him. They're in the top 10 or the top 8 schools. Julius Jones Jr. released his top 8 schools. They're locked in with him. Phoenix Evans, 28 kid, and his friend, his best friend, Jackson Vaughn, defensive end, both borderline 5 stars. Jackson Vaughn is a 5-star. Phoenix Evans is a borderline 5-star. They both will be on campus in March, late March. It's a kid. Matter of fact, I'll bring him up, dude. He'll be at Notre Dame. This running back out of Waco, Texas, the Wissington kid. He's going to be in. Let me tell you something, man. I love this kid, bro. I don't know if you've seen his film, Left, but Lathan Wissington out of Waco, Texas, Midway High School. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen this kid, he's coming in for a spring visit. Jawan Sider was down there with him to visit over the contact period. And I can just flat out tell you, man, this young man is fantastic. He's 6 foot, 205, and the kid has everything. I'll just share a little bit of his film because I jumped into it recently and I was like, oh, okay. I love when people edit film highlights correctly. You want certain plays to jump off. Just the power he runs with. This kid averaged 156 yards all purpose per game. All purpose. Last year, he ran for nearly 1,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, had 10 receptions for over 100 yards, 10 yards a pop.
He's scooting.
Yeah, the kid can go left. I'm sorry about that. Let me turn it back on. My screen locked for a second, bro. I'm sorry about that. There we go. Like I said, his legs, man, he has some big legs. I know you say something about Texas. Texas running backs work out. Jadarian Price worked out. Kedron Young works out. Maybe it's the Jamin Osborne. I think he's going to be really good. So maybe Texas has some of the best running backs. He didn't have the angle. He created the angle, bro. Because
Texas running backs. Okay.
Well, you have to give credit to them. They worked out for Notre Dame. I don't know where he is on their board for the 27 running backs, but he immediately shot to the top of just the recruits I like from just watching their film. And just really look at that left. Get out of here.
Good back, man. He looks big as heck.
Yes, he looks big.
I mean,
he runs 3 tackles.
It's just big dominant kid.
Go ahead. Say something about Texas, because I know that's what you're getting ready to say.
No, I mean, the competition looks like competition, and he's clearly doing his thing, man. It's hard to say anything bad about the kid. All the running back stuff is all the stuff you're not going to put on your highlight film that makes you good, like blocking or certain holes and certain plays. And that stuff only comes when the setup is there. So you're not going to get a true outside zone read in a high school game to see if he knows how to fill the hole necessarily, because he's so much stronger and bigger than everybody. Bad plays look really good. There's bad plays of maybe running the wrong hole at the beginning turns into a touchdown because he throws the kid 5 yards and just ridiculous athleticism to make up for it. You're like, good grief. So other than just being super dominant, he's got all the traits you look for: breakaway speed, doesn't get first tackled, and just like he ain't playing when he get out in the open field. He probably runs track. He looks like a track athlete.
Yeah. So once again, he'll be on campus for the junior day in March.
But think about it. You got to be like, okay, let's just put Notre Dame's D-line in front of him. You got 335, 319. You got big Jason Onye in there,
That's the defensive line. You talking about O-line.
No, I'm saying the guys he's running against.
Oh, you're talking about the guys he's running against. I misunderstood. Go
yeah,
ahead.
like a Drake. Like, what's he like against a Drake Bowen? You show me that. Then I'll be like, okay, he got some. So he ain't got no Drake Bowen, no Don Schuler in the box hanging down there. He ain't, not yet. But that's why defense matters. You got to have guys that want to hit too now. So I Bleav watching this tape,
He wants to deliver contact.
Right. Most of this tape is guys like, man, I ain't trying to hit this dude all game, man. I got class tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, this dude going to get paid in the next year. I'm just trying to get to prom. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing at stake for some of these dudes. So you throw Drake Bowen out there on a swing pass and all that. Okay, like where Aeneas Williams' film was different for me is that you see him playing in the skills positions of different areas. He ain't just getting the ball and shotgun, just running, doing all this. He got there was some football I saw in Aeneas too. Like he was running some routes. He was making some screens. He was doing some different things. This is like Pee Wee football where you give the best, most athletically gifted player the ball, and he just better than dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is not bad, being better than dudes.
It's not.
Even though that you disrespect the state of Texas.
I didn't know. Oh, my God. I'm saying as it relates to him going in there and being competitive with Aeneas and a Nolan James and all of that. Like, running back, I think it's just a little different.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, like, a linebacker with that, it's hard to be really good at linebacker, even in high school, just because it's so many different things got to happen. You know what I mean? A running back that's good in high school, you just getting the ball.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. So I do want to bring up, because if not, because people are like, yo, you introduced the show and then, You didn't say, you guys, said you were going to talk about this and you didn't get a chance to bring it up. You're right. And so I kind of teased at the beginning of the show that I wanted to talk about something that Texas AD Del Conte, Chris Del Conte said. He actually has like a State of the Union address each and every year, a town hall meeting. And in terms of competition and the scheduling with the SEC switching their scheduling, this is what he said on the non-conference schedule, because Notre Dame is on the non-conference schedule for Texas coming up. He said, game schedule, when we joined the SEC, it was an 8-game schedule. It was an absolute proponent of going to 9 games. I was an absolute proponent of going to 9 games. This year, we were away from DKR, Rest Royal Stadium, 43 straight days. We were road warriors. Was that fair to our football program? Was that fair to you? That was an 8-game schedule because we play a neutral site game in Dallas. We only had 3 games this year at home in the SEC, and we had 4 on the road. They counted the OU game as our home game because we were the home team. Well, dude, I mean, it's one of the biggest rivalries in football. So as soon as we got into the SEC, we were like, hey, time out. We need to go to 9 games because I want 4 on the road, 4 at home, and the neutral site. And with the playoff going, which is lame. And to me, that's lame. It's like, dude, it's a neutral site game in between your campus. You just want an extra game. You still get, if you're the home team, you're getting the home team game. I guess I can see his point, but that being the reason to go to 9 games. But here's the thing. Before we joined the SEC, I made schedules of Ohio State and Michigan. We had USC, we had LSU, because I was trying to make sure that your dollar that you're spending with us, we're bringing the best teams we can into DKR and play those great teams. That's what we wanted. So we scheduled great games here to bring value to you all. At the same time, we were in the Big 12 and we're looking at who we're playing and who's coming into DKR. And we lost to A&M, we lost Nebraska, we lost those games. We weren't playing at Missouri in the previous Big 12, so we looked at it differently. So we looked at value. Well, when we joined the SEC, I had to reverse our schedules, had to go to the Big 10 twice in order for us to get in early. That was a price I was willing to pay to get in early, take no TV revenue, and I had to switch the 2 games around, go there first. He's speaking of going to Michigan first and then going to Ohio State first in that home and home. Now, future, he says, as far as our future schedules look like, we would sit down and look at what that looks like for getting into the postseason tournament. I would tell you that college football is built around your regular season. Do you guys really want nice, good games in DKR? We can play 3 cream puffs and we can play an SEC schedule. But if we do that and the playoff expands, which I prefer that the playoff expands, you want to have great games at home, great value for those games, as long as we can have the opportunity to get into the postseason. So once again, that is Chris Del Conte, the AD for Texas. He also said, I prefer to preserve the regular season by playing great games and not dumbing down your schedule and playing nobody with the hopes that you can get to the playoff because you played nobody. That right there is what I want to focus on. Thank you. An athletic director from the SEC left. Who do we say? You talked about it. You played the SEC schedule and then played 3 cream puffs on your schedule. Right? Why are you talking about Notre Dame? That's literally the formula for most SEC teams.
That's the formula.
I want to salute Texas AD Chris Del Conte. I will repeat what he said. I prefer to preserve the regular season by playing great games and not dumbing down the schedule and playing nobody with the hopes that you can get into the playoff because you played nobody. Thank you. Thank you for somebody in that conference having some heart to play competitive games. Thank you. Salute to you. Salute to you, sir. And maybe you can be a beacon of light to the rest of your ADs in the SEC. You probably won't, because they're soft as marshmallow, hanging on the fact we're the SEC. Okay. All right. Keep playing cream puffs and keep getting smacked up when you face big, good teams in the playoffs. That cream puff schedule isn't working for you, is it?
Nope.
It's not working out too well for you, is it? You know which SEC team has been to the Final Four in the playoff? Guess who it is? Texas.
Mm.
In the new playoff, the 12-team playoff, guess what SEC team has made it? Texas and then Ole Miss. Texas and Ole Miss are the two. Those are the two schools, not Georgia, not Alabama, not Oklahoma, not the ones that hang their hat on we're the big SEC. It's Texas and Ole Miss that have held up the SEC banner. Not LSU. You know why? Ole Miss was supposed to go to USC this year. USC canceled. Ole Miss wasn't scared to go play somebody early. They had USC on the schedule. USC canceled. USC said, no, we don't want to do that. And they did that before they got out of the Notre Dame rivalry. Texas, their AD, we prefer to play good games and quality competition. I'm just saying, as a point of reference, teams that want the smoke end up coming out the fire or coming through the fire. Thank you, Chris Del Conte. Thank you. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Great show, everybody. Tap in. Bleav Network. Apple Podcast, Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit that like button. Share and let everybody know about Lucky Lefty Podcast. Presented by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app. You'll have everything you need for this weekend. Super Bowl 60. New England Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks. Shout out to every Notre Dame alum participating in the game and playing in the game. Look forward to watching you guys do incredible things. For Left SD2 Mics, have a great weekend. Be blessed. Enjoy your time watching the Super Bowl and spending time with your family. But most of all, continue to make sure that you spend it different. We'll see you guys.